Greetings folks, in this video we're going to be having a look at the Walksnail Avatar GT2 Kit. So this is an upgrade from the wonderful high-powered GT1, and we have automatic dynamic power, so that will scale the power up and down as it's required up to a maximum of 2 watts. Has a built-in fan. Latest firmware allows frequency hopping. It has 4 channels I think, so it can frequency hop to get the best reception. Accepts a 256 SD card, records in 1080 or 720p. Comes in the usual lovely Avatar packaging. Little quick start guide there. You can see the UART connection has 2 UARTs, UART 3 and UART 2. Ground and voltage in, 11.1 to 25.2 volts in. We have longer antennas, giving you the opportunity to get a clearer signal. The Pro camera, which is very nice, that's the best of the cameras. There's the video transmitter, a nice new fan covering there. It's quite a chunky little video transmitter, but nicely contained. MMCX style connections, that's different. And all the connection cables here, nuts and bolts and washers. And the UART and power connections there. So, UART connection, USB-C, antenna connection, SD card slot, lots of sort of cooling fins, and very nicely styled. Fairly weighty, but you would expect that for a big, powerful, high quality video transmitter, I would guess. Let's have a closer look at the GT2 quick start guide. So we can see the UARTs here, TX3 and RX3 to the gimbal, and TX2 and RX2 to the flight controller for your on-screen display and your auto power setup. Usual method of linking, push the pairing button on the goggles and the Avatar GT2 at the same time, and you get the dee until it successfully connects. It uses the Avatar Sky.img firmware, and suggesting you upgrade to the latest firmware. Copy the firmware onto the root of the SD card and push the button for 8 seconds and let it do its stuff. It is a good idea to provide some cooling. Even though it has a fan, it probably needs extra airflow, I would suggest. So the weight is 52 grams without the antennas. Minimum latency 22 milliseconds, which might be applicable for race quad flyers. MMCX antenna connectors and the Avatar Pro camera. So some of the features of the GT2, it is specifically designed for long range, up to 50 kilometers on fixed wing and around 10 kilometers on quadcopters, according to CADX and community testing. Auto 2 watt mode, which intelligently adjusts transmit power based on distance and error rate. Balancing range and video clarity. Is also a fixed 2 watt mode available. 30% plus power consumption reduction. Optimized RF chip reduces peak power from 24 watts on the GT1 to 16 watts. Sony IMX385 sensor. Longer antennas and built-in fan, which is great. With the GM gimbals, quick pairing without disassembling. I'll have a look at that. USB-C port and SD card, 1 milliwatt ultra low power standby. So that should mean it doesn't overheat while you're waiting for your flight controller to acquire satellites. So that's all very good. So here's the old GT1, which is probably my favourite of the Avatar gear really. It works very well, although it's not sort of natively compatible with the GM gimbals unless you get inside of it apparently. So that's changed with the GT2. It's a UART connection provided for the gimbal. We have longer antennas and different connector. That's a UFL connector and that's a MMCX connector. More heat sink available. HD Pro camera. Excellent. So I'll be looking forward to trying this out on, what will I put it on? some nice plane anyway. We'll work that out. So we're provided with two cables, that is just power and UART for the flight controller. That's just 4 wires on that cable, or we get the 6-wire cable which includes the GM3 gimbal connections there. So you'd use that one for the gimbal and power, and that one just for the flight controller. I've printed up a 3D printed mount for the GT2 and the Pro camera, mounted it on my scratch built yellow test plane, connected into a SpeedyBee F405 wing just using the DJI in plug there, which by default gives 9 volts. We actually need 11.11 volts minimum, so I've had to bump it up to 12 volts using the solder pads on the SpeedyBee. So we've got 12 volt power supply plugging into the HD FPV UART. No gimbal on the moment. I made up my own cable, just soldered on DuPont where oh, it's under there so you can't see it. It's 4-pin DuPont connector anyway. Firmware, this comes with the 39.44.17 firmware, so I updated my goggles to the same firmware just to make sure it's totally compatible, and that also gives you the frequency hopping and the auto 2-watt power. So we're ready to fly now. The GT2 is specifically designed for long range, and if I was a long range flyer and I wanted to try and get out to 20-30 kilometers, this is exactly what I would use. But I'm not a long range flyer. I just can't show long range flying on this channel. It's just not legal here, and I don't want to get myself into trouble. So we're just going to go for a fly around, show that it works, and have a bit of a chat about it while we're flying. You can probably hear the fan operating there. That's good. We know that it's not going to overheat while we're waiting for satellites. It's going to have to be a bit of a quick flight. We have some drizzle coming out on the horizon. You might be able to see it. We'll certainly see it when we're up in the air. But I've made sure the goggles are on 2000 auto. We should be ready to go. Frequency hopping as well. Okay, here we go. Oh, lots of drizzle coming. Lovely plane, very easy to fly. Lovely calm conditions. Cruise mode. Props give them a bit of vibration. But that is, oh, that is a beautiful image. Super sharp. See the drizzle off in the distance there. I'll come out on calmer days and sunny days and show you what it looks like, but that's looking very nice in this overcast condition. Can't tell what the power is, but yeah, LRS power up there is 25 milliwatts. This is looking delightful, and everything just works with Walksnail, I find. Even though originally the firmware wasn't exactly the same firmware, it just gives you a message in the goggles saying firmware doesn't match. Do you want to check the firmware, or do you want to skip it? If you skip it, you can just keep flying. If you check, then it'll tell you what firmware the goggles are on and what firmware the video transmitter are on. And I did choose to update so that I could get the frequency hopping and the auto 2-watt power. But this is just beautiful. You can see the rain cloud off in the distance there that just went over us. Oh gosh, this is beautiful. Nice calm day. I so rarely fly on calm days that I'm always surprised about how easy it is to fly on these days and how nice and smooth. There's a flock of birds going over me. Yeah, a fair bit of drizzle coming there, but we'll chance it. This is delightful. As I said, I don't do long range, I just toddle around, occasionally go out and visit those islands and things like that. I can pretty much do all of this line of sight. But if I wanted to go and test the limits, then the GT2 kit would be the one I'd choose, most definitely. They've changed the antennas to the MMCX from the UFL, and the MMCX connections are much more robust, more difficult to unplug, and they have they're rated for like 300 mating cycles. That's plugging and unplugging, whereas the UFLs are only rated for like 30 or something, I think. Or it might even be 500 with these MMCX, but anyway, they're much more robust, much better longevity, and they're longer antennas too, so they're going to get clear of your battery and your motor and all that sort of stuff for interference. This is just a magnificent view. This is the best of the Walksnail Avatar setups. Just beautiful. I can just cruise around here all day. This is such a great view. Nice day for flying. The rain's going to curtail it though. That rain squall is just there. I better get back and packed up before it arrives. Looking into the sun, difficult lighting for the camera, and it's handling it beautifully. Just playing with the prop speed to try and get it to stop like that. That's a cool look, isn't it? Alright, I'll bring it into land. Rain's coming, so we need to get down, not get too wet, chop the throttle, glide it in. See the rain coming over my shoulder there, we better pack up and get going, but so far with this one flight that I've done, this is a magnificent setup from Cadix and Walksnail. This would be the best of the lot for me. The GT1's very good. GT2's even better because it's got the sturdier antenna connections, more cooling, easier connection to the GM3 gimbal. So very good indeed. A very nice release from Cadix Walksnail. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.